I'm Pam Oliver. Welcome back to Arrowhead, where it's good news for the Chiefs. Running back Jamal Charles, who experienced some swelling in his knee this week, he is a go. His reps will be carefully monitored. Meantime, quarterback Philip Gaines, he has a knee injury and is a scratch for New Orleans. A long list of defensive players who will not see action today. The secondary, especially decimated. Kenny, could be some rough sledding for that group today. Back to you.
Thanks very much, Pam. Sean Payton's Saints have won 2 straight following the 0-3 start. Victories over the Chargers and the Panthers. Across the way, Andy Reid coaching in his 300th career game. One of 14 head coaches in NFL history, including postseason. Saints win the toss, elect to defer, and Will Lutz gets things started. Tyreek Hill, the rookie out of West Alabama, takes a knee. So Alex Smith leads the Kansas City offense out onto the field. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line.
You know, and Kenny, you see those numbers from last week against the Raiders. In a rainstorm, was 19 of 22. Incredibly efficient, but the thing I was most impressed with, everybody has always said the knock on him, he doesn't challenge you down the field. He challenged the Raiders with success a number of times last week. The vertical part of this passing game has come alive in Kansas City.
He completed 15 straight passes at one point last week. John tying a franchise record. Pam mentioned Jamal Charles is active. Spencer Ware starts the game. He had a huge day last week. Out of the backfield, it's the fullback, Anthony Sherman. Nate Stupar the tackle. The Chiefs, as we mentioned in the open, have won 8 consecutive games here at home.
Well, there it is. The numbers pretty convincing. They play extremely well. And you see the turnover differential. That is huge. Plus 11 in their last 8 victories here at home. Tough to beat are the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead.
Home wins this season over the Chargers and the Jets. On 2nd and 10, play action. It's the tight end, Travis Kelce. And Kelce takes it out to the 35-yard line. Kenny Vaccaro made the tackle.
You take a look at this. They fake like they're going to go inside on the counter play, and they come right back at you. A lot of misdirection in this Kansas City offense, and then you get it to the hands of your playmakers. A lot of speed at the tight end position with Travis Kelce.
Kelce picked up the 1st down. He's the Chiefs' leading receiver. Caught 72 passes a season ago. This is Spencer Ware on 1st down. And Ware picks up a couple, gained 131 yards on the ground last week against the Raiders. Darryl Tapp the tackle.
And Kenny, Spencer Ware was incredibly impressive in doing that. He's a hard running back there, will run through a lot of tackles. It's interesting, you see the Chiefs, the Saints defense is young. They got a lot of guys back in the secondary who haven't played together. So you see a lot of shifting, motioning by the Chiefs to try to make it a little more difficult on them pre-snap.
On 2nd and 8, again it is Ware, and he picks up another Chiefs 1st down. Out across the 45 to the 48-yard line. Ware gaining 12.
This is just really well blocked up front. You see him running from the gun. It's his center, Mitch Morse, who leads him through and makes the key block on Nick Fairley. Going to see Morse come in, and right there gets the key block on Fairley. Easy 10 yards for Spencer Ware.
Again, 3 tight ends set for the Chiefs. From the 48-yard line on 1st down, it's Ware this time running left, turns the corner, and Ware has another 1st down into Saints territory. Knocked out of bounds at the 40-yard line by Von Bell. So back-to-back 12-yard runs for Spencer Ware.
Well, they're giving the same look, Kenny, and running. Remember before it was Travis Kelce who showed this and then came back. Now he leads Spencer Ware out there, taking the edge away from the Saints defense. Another easy 10+ yards for Spencer Ware. Tremendous execution in the run game for the Chiefs, just like last week when they ran for 180 yards versus the Raiders.
Kirkendrick West has replaced Ware in the Chiefs backfield. And this is West. Not much, gain of a yard. Brought down by Tyler Davison, 2nd and 9 upcoming.
You know, Kenny, one of the things that I really like what Andy Reid is doing, he's taking the long-term view at this season. And an example of that, Jamaal Charles, explosive back, maybe a future Hall of Fame back. Coming off his knee injury, Andy's kind of easing him back, giving him about 10 to 12 touches. But it's easy to do that when you have Spencer Ware running the way he is.
Charles injured last October in a game against the Bears, sat out the first 3 this season. Today his 3rd game back. So we have not seen Charles as of yet during this opening drive as Smith goes deep and he overthrows the intended receiver Jeremy Maclin.
But again, I mentioned it earlier when we introduced Alex Smith. For years the knock was he's really good in the quick game. They'll challenge it and stretch it horizontally, but there's no vertical stretch. And a play like that, it's smart because it opens it up now for that quick game that he excels so much. A miss, but that will pay dividends challenging people downfield. You see the numbers last week. Very effective getting the ball downfield.
3rd down and 8. This will be the 8th play of the drive for Kansas City. Bunch formation to the right. They must get to the 30-yard line for a 1st down. And they will not. Pass intended for the tight end, Demetrius Harris. Chiefs wanted a flag.
Well, we had a little in our pregame show, Terry Bradshaw and Peanut Tillman talking about pass interference. I think it's a good no call. Now you see, does he restrict? You can have your hands on the hips of the offensive player, but do you pull and restrict? I think that's a good no call. His hands were on the hips, but he did not tug and restrict Demetrius Harris.
Ken Crawley defending. Jarvis Byrd back for the Saints. Chiefs pass up what would have been a 56-yard field goal attempt. They punt it away, and it bounces into the end zone for a touchback. Alex Smith frustrated following the opening series. Drew Brees and the Saints offense when we return.
This game is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency.
New Orleans Saints on offense for the first time. From the 20-yard line, Brees handing off, and Mark Ingram found a hole and gained 7. Eric Berry the tackle. 2nd down and 3 coming up for the Saints. Drew Brees, another ho-hum season, John, right?
Unbelievable, Kenny, and to think it's even more impressive because in the last 2 years his receiving core completely revamped, but it just doesn't matter. The beat goes on with Drew Brees.
Incredible numbers once again. Here is Ingram, and he pushes the pile, picks up a Saints 1st down.
Well, when you take a look at Drew Brees and these Saints, prolific offense to be sure, but a prolific defense in a bad way. They give up a lot. They give up yards, they give up points. They score a lot, but they're going to give up a lot. You see the last 3 games, that's been the story. First team to score and allow 30-plus points in 3 straight games. Incredible watching these Saints.
It has never happened in one season in NFL history. The slant broken up, intended for the rookie out of Ohio State, Michael Thomas, with DJ White defending.
And this is a matchup Sean Payton pointed to. He liked this matchup for the Saints. Michael Thomas working on DJ White, but DJ White standing up and making a big play early on the PBU.
Couple of rookies. White, the 6th-round pick out of Georgia Tech. Saints send in an extra blocker, number 68, Tim Lolito. 2nd down and 10. 3 receivers set. Brees on 2nd down, and the catch is made. This time, Thomas able to make the catch, and he picks up a New Orleans 1st down, a gain of 21.
Well, Michael Thomas is a rookie from Ohio State, but he's their leading receiver in terms of receptions coming in to this game, and he's got incredible savvy. You see how he sold the go route and then put his foot in the ground, came inside. Really a technician, impressive for a rookie.
And the nephew of your former teammate, Keyshawn Johnson. Ingram across midfield into Chiefs territory.
So Kenny, if he's related to Keyshawn Johnson, he just wants the ball. Give him the ball and he'll be happy. But Michael Thomas doing a great job. Drew Brees can't say enough about how much of a professional Michael Thomas has been.
Thomas tied for the league lead among rookies for receptions over the first 6 weeks. Saints with a 2nd and 5. Chiefs with 6 in the secondary. Saints keep it on the ground. And a nice tackle made on Ingram by Daniel Sorensen. So a 3rd down and a long 2 upcoming.
Not something you see a lot with the Saints this year. Now, traditionally, Sean Payton's been a big believer in the run. This year, 81% pass. Tops in the league. A lot of that's been situational. They've been behind a lot, having to come back.
Third down and 3. Brees throws, and the catch is made for a Saints first down at the 38-yard line by Willie Snead, quieting this Kansas City crowd.
And you watch Willie Snead, he's a guy you don't hear of as much as, say, Brandon Cooks or Michael Thomas, but in crunch situations, critical situations, I see Drew Brees really liking to go to Willie Snead. He's one of those dependable guys. You know where he's going to be, and he's going to make the catch.
New set of downs, 8th play of the drive for the Saints. Play action, Brees throws, again it is Snead to the Chiefs 21. Another New Orleans first down, a 17-yard connection.
The accuracy, Kenny, they're always going to protect Drew Brees, and they do again. Protection is a premium, but look at the accuracy. In stride, you just cannot place it any better, and it's what Drew Brees does over and over and over. I was talking to Mickey Loomis, the GM on the field of the Saints before the game. He said, you look at his arm, maybe a B minus, but everything else, the accuracy. He makes such quick decisions. He makes up for that lack of arm strength with all of that.
John, the Saints have scored a touchdown on their opening possession in their last 3 games. Looking to do it again. Complete inside the 10. It is Cooks for another Saints first down. And aside from starting fast, they've also been terrific in the red zone this season.
16 touchdowns in 20 red zone trips. That's unheard of in terms of success in the red zone. Drew Brees has so many targets that he trusts. They continue to substitute personnel groupings. They really keep you on your heels as a defense.
Yeah, the tight end split wide to the left, the fullback wide to the right. Josh Hill, 89, John Kuhn, 29. Catch is made and taken in for a touchdown by Brandon Cooks. So they surprise the Chiefs with the formation, and it's Brees to Cooks for another Saints opening drive touchdown. Now 4 straight games, a new franchise record.
Well, Kenny, you did a great job of describing that, because formationally, they get you all confused. Tight end up here, fullback down here. What you get your best wide receiver, Brandon Cooks, one-on-one against Frank Zombo. A good player, but a linebacker. That's a mismatch. So formationally, they throw a lot out there. It's all window dressing for getting the matchup you want. Beautiful execution.
So the Saints strike first here in Kansas City. All scoring plays are reviewed. Clete Blakeman waiting for the official confirmation.
See again the accuracy. And I think that's a touchdown with about 3 or 4 steps. Doesn't have control there. Now he has control. Left foot down, right foot down.
It has been confirmed. Will Lutz for the extra point. 4th touchdown of the season for Cooks. And the extra point is good after it was partially blocked. Chiefs got a piece of it, but Lutz knocks it through.
Game on Fox is sponsored by Bud Light. Beer with your team on it.
Take a look at that last extra point, Kenny, and it's Chris Jones, the rookie defensive line. You're going to see that left hand get a piece of it, but somehow Lutz has enough power that it gets through it, so the extra point was good.
10 plays, 80 yards. Saints the first team since the 2014 Packers to score a touchdown on their opening possession in 4 consecutive games. That's Jake Lampman, the injured Saint. Back in a moment.
This game is sponsored by Chevrolet. More 2016 J.D. Power Dependability Awards than any other brand. By McDonald's. I'm loving it. And by Pepsi. Every football moment deserves a celebration. Break out the Pepsi.
Back in Kansas City, number 19, Jake Lampman, injured before the break.
But DJ Alexander, it's a touchback, so Lampman easing up and takes a shot. Jake will learn. There's an old axiom, head on a swivel when you're running down on kickoff team.
Rookie out of Ferris State, really impressed Sean Payton in his NFL debut last week. Smith on first down, fires, intended for Kelsey. Nate Stupar defending, looked like he got a piece of it.
Really good job by Stupar, getting his hand up, watching the eyes of Alex Smith. See Stupar come into your screen, just get a fingertip on it. Really nice play by Stupar.
Stupar at the starting lineup with Stephen Anthony out. Saints still missing Donnell Ellerbe, so Greg Robertson, the starter on the other side once again. Pat talked about all the injuries on the defensive side for both teams as Spencer Ware takes it out to the 29-yard line.
You know, Kenny, you look at this Saints defense, and the last 4 years have been tough. It's been a lot of futility on the defensive side of the ball, but when I watch these guys and the numbers are not good, I do see a group that's getting better. Dennis Allen, the coordinator, has pulled back, simplified, which is always better. And then I see them getting some production up front. Cam Jordan's been a good player, but now all of a sudden he's got some help with the likes of Nick Fairley, Onyemata playing well, Paul Kruger, so they're starting to get better up front.
Third down and 7. Smith to the outside. It's Macklin. And Jeremy Macklin picks up a Chiefs first down at the 36.
See Jeremy Macklin come in motion. He's working against B.W. Webb, who's been playing well. Enough cushion that Macklin can get with the outstretched arms, gets the first down.
And now Sean Payton has thrown the flag, challenging what was ruled a reception by Jeremy Macklin.
And you saw the Chiefs rush into the line of scrimmage because they didn't want it to be challenged. So let's take a look at Macklin. Control, left foot down. I do not know the heel. Let's see if that right foot, if the toe drag right there, that is close.
Question is, when did he have possession? Clete Blakeman will take a look. John, another look at the last play. Jeremy Macklin ruled a reception on the field.
Okay, so the key is that right foot. On the field, remember, called a catch. So is it clear and obvious that that right toe does not drag because this foot's out?
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands as called. It was a catch on the first down Kansas City. New Orleans will be charged with their first timeout.
So when Clete Blakeman says stands, it means there wasn't enough visual evidence to overturn it.
Right.
So good job by Macklin gaining control and dragging that right toe. You could see why they challenged. The Saints looking at his right foot on the next step going out of bounds, but they did not see the toe dragging.
Saints lose the challenge, lose a timeout.
You got it,
First and 10 for the Chiefs from the 36-yard line. Off the fake, the end around to Tyreek Hill. We're looking out of West Alabama. And he is into Saints territory. Gain of 18.
This kid's a rookie, and I think his best football has yet to be seen. Tyreek Hill right here And when he's in, something's up, because this guy can fly. 4.24 speed. That is flying, and he brings it to the field. Andy Reid so excited about implementing this young man, and they'll use him in every which way, as a runner, as a receiver, as a decoy. You'll see his imprint on this offense throughout the game.
Empty backfield. Ware split wide to the left. 1st and 10 from the Saints 46. This is Spencer Ware. And Ware is inside the 20, still going all the way to the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown, 46 yards.
Kenny, you got to credit Spencer Ware, but really give credit to Jeremy Maclin. You're playing receiver for the Chiefs. You're not just a receiver. You better be able to block, because they do a lot of this. Ball's behind the line of scrimmage, and then you see his lineman anger down the field. But Jeremy Maclin made that play go, and Spencer Ware says, thank you very much, Jeremy, as he goes in for 6.
So a huge turn of events. Saints challenge. The catch by Maclin. Call stands, and then Smith connecting with Ware. 46 yards. Longest pass play of the season for the Chiefs. We are tied at 7 in Kansas City.
There's Spencer Ware down here, but watch Maclin. Watch these guys. Here comes the cavalry. It's a beautiful thing. It's like a good police escort. You got people out front directing traffic, blocking people, and Spencer Ware is the beneficiary all the way to the end zone.
His first career touchdown reception. Lewis and Cadet back deep for the Saints. Lewis takes a knee. Saints will start from their 25-yard line. Well, John, I know you'll be tuning in. Tuesday, it's game 1 of the Fall Classic. The Cubs and the Indians. Both teams looking to claim their first championship in generations. Coverage starts with the pregame show on FS1, 7 Eastern. Game 1, Fox, 7:30. Cubs' last World Series appearance, 1945. Indians' last World Series win 3 years later.
That environment was electric. It came through the television screen last night. Tremendous job by Joe Buck, John Smoltz, Kevin Burkhardt, and his crew. It was awesome coverage of an awesome spectacle.
Game 1 in Cleveland on Tuesday night. First down handoff. It's Ingram. Looks to turn the corner, but he could not, as he is run out of bounds by Ramik Wilson. Loses yardage on the play. 2nd down and 12.
There's Chris Jones on the defensive line. Bailey went out with an injury, so Chris Jones, who's been playing extremely well, is a guy that they're very, very high, and rightly so. He's a big man that can move in a big way. They think he has a chance to be special.
2nd round pick, Mississippi State. 2nd down and 12 off the fake to Ingram. Breeze hits Ingram out of the backfield, and Ingram takes it out to the 31-yard line. Tom Bahali, the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and 4 for the Saints, who scored a touchdown on their opening possession.
Sean Payton does such a great job of mixing up protections and moving the launch point. They only move it about 3 yards to the right, but it keeps Drew Brees clean. The play action fake, you run people deep downfield. If it's not there, you dump it off to Ingram.
That's Teron Armstead, the left tackle, who returned today, missed the last 3 games with a knee injury. Armstead remains down. Checked out by the Saints medical staff.
Welcome back. As we wait for word on his latest Saints injury, I want to tell you about Jake Lampman back in the locker room. He's getting his right leg x-rayed. Lampman's return is questionable. Now, in his first game last week, he so impressed Sean Payton that Payton gave him a special teams game ball. He was one of 6 wide receivers Payton had up today. He's never had that many up before. Kenny?
Well, thanks, Pam. And there's Armstead. So the Saints missing both regular starters on the left side. Our first flag as Breeze finds his man Michael Thomas for a Saints first down. We'll check with Clete Blakeman. know what Sean Payton thinks.
You know, it's incredible. Teron Armstead goes out, protection, no problem.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, and a 5-yard penalty, replay 3rd down.
Take a look. I think it's Brandon Cooks up top is never set. Yeah, he's moving as the ball snapped. You see him take that last step up. So nice job by the officials.
There's Tony Hill, 76. The left tackle, Sergio Calamete, 65, the left guard. Hill's in for the injured Armstead. Calamete starting for the injured Andrus Peat. Following the penalty, which erased a 15-yard reception and a first down, it is now 3rd down and 9. Saints must get to the 35 for a first down, and they do. It is Willie Snead out to the 41. So on 3rd and 9, Breeze makes the connection for a Saints first down.
One thing Sean Payton's always going to do, he's going to protect first. You see Fleener stay in and nudge before he goes out. Mark Ingram take the blitzer, and Drew Brees, such a valiant effort in the pocket, knowing he's going to get hit, hanging in there, delivering another accurate ball.
Snead's 3rd reception, all 3 have gone for first downs. 15 yards on that last one. And now another flag. False start. Second one of this drive.
False start, offense, number 73, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's the right guard, Jari Evans.
You know, Kenny, we talked about it in the open. This noise here, it's real. I've been here. I've been on that field and played here. You can't hear. It's tough, and so it leads to a lot of false starts and things like that. Tough to communicate with the noise here in Arrowhead.
So this possession, 2 false starts and an injured offensive lineman. Low snap. Breeze on the recovery, hands off to Ingram. Derek Johnson makes the tackle, the all-time leading tackler here in Kansas City. Gain of 3. So it will be a 2nd down and 12 for the Saints as time winds down in this first quarter. By the way, John, the Saints have now scored in 14 consecutive quarters. That's a new franchise record.
This offense is impressive, man. They just light it up.
Touchdown on their opening drive today for the 4th straight game. 2nd down and 12. Off the fake to Ingram. Breeze looking for the fullback, John Kuhn, but he was covered by Derek Johnson.
Jay Howard, Tamba Hali pressure him. Drew Brees just throws it away. Here's Hillis. Hills, who's in for Armstead. Here comes the noise.
And it gets louder. And louder. 3rd down and 12. Breeze over the middle. It is deflected and then picked off by Daniel Sorensen. Sorensen takes it all the way for a Chiefs touchdown. There is a flag.
Holding, offense, number 73, penalties decline. Goal to play is a touchdown.
Sorensen does a great job of getting to the ball, but it's Eric Berry who's going to make the play. You see him go for the football, it's tipped up, and Sorensen does a tremendous job getting to the near sideline. You see the rush in Drew Brees' face, but a great play by Berry keeping the ball alive. Sorensen hustling to the football, and when you do that, good things happen.
Santos connects. So Breeze picked off. Berry, the terrific play. Sorensen, the return. The Chiefs lead the league in interceptions this season with 10, and they lead this game 14-7. So after the strong start, John, by the Saints, they score on their opening possession. The Chiefs with back-to-back scores.
Yeah, and you have to be a little concerned if you're Sean Payton with that last drive. You mentioned it, a couple false starts due to the noise here in Arrowhead. Your left tackle, Terron Armstead, one of the best offensive linemen in football, he's out. So this is a team that's been hurt by injuries, and we saw it pay off in that drive. And the Chiefs, they feed off this energy. The turnover differential is so key to their success here in Kansas City.
So 2 penalties, an injury, and the interception returned for a touchdown by Daniel Sorensen following the tip by Eric Berry, and Sorensen returned it officially 48 yards for his first career touchdown. Chiefs now a +6 in the turnover department.
Kenny, we talked about Tyreek Hill being an explosive returner. Tommy Lee Lewis for the Saints is an incredibly explosive guy as well. But Santos makes that point mute as he kicks it deep into the end zone.
So the Saints back on offense. Small screen, stadium-sized content. Watch live local Sunday games on your smartphone with NFL Mobile. Terron Armstead, the left tackle, questionable return due to the knee injury. And we mentioned, John, he missed the last 3 games due to a knee issue. So Tony Hills remains in at left tackle. Final minute, first quarter. Breeze on first down, it's Snead. Snead out to the 30 as we check in with Kurt Menefee for a game break in Los Angeles. Kurt.
All right, the Jets bench Ryan Fitzpatrick, starting Geno Smith this week, and pays a dividend early on as he hooks up with Quincy Enunwa. 69 yards for the touchdown. They're still down by 3, still in the first quarter, though, against the Baltimore Ravens. Kenny, John, and Pan.
Thanks, Kurt. Jets off to the 1-5 start, making the move to Geno Smith. This is Mark Ingram, who looks to spin out of trouble. Took it out to the 38-yard line, setting up 3rd down and 2. First quarter comes to an end. Strong start for the Saints, but the Chiefs come back. Kansas City by 7. Welcome back to Arrowhead Stadium. Kenny Albert, John Lynch, Pam Oliver. First quarter numbers. Key turnover. Return for a touchdown by the Chiefs. They lead 14-7. 3rd down and 2 for Drew Brees and the Saints. Low snap once again from Unger. Catch is made for a first down by Thomas. The rookie Michael Thomas out to the 37-yard line, quieting this Arrowhead crowd.
And again, Sean Payton pointed to that matchup. We're going to put Michael Thomas on our left side. He's going to draw DJ White, who's a good young player, but he's finding his way in this league, and we think we can wear that out. They're going there often.
1st and 10 from the 37. Tim Hightower in the backfield. And the play is blown dead.
False start. Offense for 29. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
This time it's on the fullback, Kuhn. 3rd Saints false start.
You know, and talking to Sean Payton, he really didn't think the sound, the noise. He said, yes, it's a home field advantage, but we work hard on it. We pump the music, but pumping the music and hearing the real thing in Arrowhead, 2 different things. 3 false starts in the last 2 series.
Saints came here yesterday. They had a walkthrough, of course. There weren't any bodies in the stands, but they practiced with loud music this week back home in New Orleans. 1st and 15, following the penalty. Breeze to the outside, and the catch is made by Cooks. And then he gets swallowed up on Parker leading the way. It'll be 2nd down and 9, and that's Kelemete, the starting left guard today. for the injured Andrus Peat, and he remains down.
Kenny, this Saints team is banged up. I mean, they came, usually you have healthy scratches. All their scratches were due to injury. We've lost Armstead, and now the left guard, Clemente, is down.
The Saints did dress 8 offensive linemen today. They have already lost Armstead. Now Clemente is shaken up. Back to Kansas City.
This game is sponsored by the all-new 2017 Ford Super Duty. This is the next level. By DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Injuries continue to mount on the Saints offensive line. He's the next man up. Landon Turner, the only remaining backup, getting ready just in case. Tim Lolito has come on to replace the injured Senio Clemente. So the Saints are now second string at left tackle, third string at left guard. Second down and 9. Brees in trouble. Down he goes. It is Sorensen who scored the touchdown on the interception return moments ago.
Well, Bob Sutton, a master of this sub or nickel look. And here's Sorensen. Let's watch him kind of delay and then come quickly on Drew Brees. It's not picked up, and Drew Brees has no one to throw it away to. Sorensen having himself a heck of a game.
The second career sack. Third-year safety out of BYU. Third down and 17. A quick out to Thomas. And Thomas is tackled by, guess who?
Daniel Sorensen.
You got it. An interception return for a touchdown, a sack, and now a tackle which forces a punt.
Now, he's a good player, and it's a vital position in defensive coordinator Bob Sutton's scheme. He always plays a safety at that linebacker position, and now watch out, because this kid, Tyreek Hill, we talked about his 4.2 40-yard dash time. He can go, and he is electric back there.
Thomas Morstead punting from his 28. Angled away from Hill. Saints don't want the ball in his hands. So the Chiefs get the ball back early second quarter. Now to a 14-7 lead as Sorensen celebrates. Every weekday morning, Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp go head-to-head on the day's hottest sports topics. Undisputed with Skip and Shannon, weekdays from 9:30 a.m. to noon Eastern, only on FS1. Chiefs with a 14-7 lead. Go to work from their 15-yard line. On first down, this is Jamaal Charles, his first carry today. Not much as he's brought down at the 16 after a gain of 1.
Well played by the Saints defense, just stringing Jamaal Charles out. And then B.W. Webb puts a corner on it so Craig Robinson can come track Jamaal Charles down.
Third game back in the Chiefs lineup for the 4-time Pro Bowler. Jamaal Charles replaced by Spencer Ware. Smith on second down on the slant. It's complete. First catch today for Chris Conley, and he picks up a Chiefs first down.
Well, Chris Conley is a guy that I've been very impressed with. We've heard a lot about how big he is, how fast he is. This year, he's catching everything thrown his way. See Alex Smith, this is where he excels. The quick game in rhythm. Chris Conley has been a great target for him. Incredible efficiency because Conley, like I said, catching everything and throwing his way.
Gain of 11. Charles back in. Smith looking to throw on first down. Steps up, gets rid of it. Another first down completion. This time it's the tight end, Kelsey. And now a late flag after the tackle by Bird out at the 41-yard line. 14-yard completion from Smith to Kelsey.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, the late hit, number 48. A 15-yard penalty for the end of the run. First down, Kansas City.
Take a look at this last play, the penalty on Vonn Bell. And here's what I'm impressed with. Alex Smith, eyes downfield. Not always a strength of his. His eyes sometimes go to the rush. When your eyes are downfield, you can see open players. And you see it's not only late, it's the way that Vonn Bell went in with his head down that I think draws that penalty.
That is the fourth Saints penalty, 3 false starts, and now the personal foul. Chiefs have not been flagged to this point. From the New Orleans 45, off the play fake, Smith will keep it, and he slides, and then gets hit by Kenny Vaccaro.
The crowd doesn't like it. You see Smith flushed by Fairley athletic enough. And I can tell you, being in that position, hard to hold up right there. Right. Alex Smith's a really good athlete. It wasn't a violent hit. One that typically is called.
No flag that time. Second down and 7. That immediately was DeAnthony Thomas. Ken Crawley coming up to make the play.
And that's what the Saints have to do, Kenny. You see the way that the Chiefs spread people out. What that does with these quick throws, it forces people to make tackles in space. And it's something the Saints haven't been very good at. They've played a lot of different players. They're not quite there personnel-wise. But Crawley is the guy who I think gives them some hope that there's better days ahead. He's handled himself well, called into duty as their 2 starting corners are out.
Right. Delvin Breaux, P.J. Williams, the 2 starters at the beginning of the season, both out. Flags prior to the snap. And then other injuries as well. Sterling Moore is out today. So Crawley and B.W. Webb, the starters here in Kansas City.
Encroachment. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Well, when you're at home in Arrowhead, you can use the hard count to your advantage. That's exactly what Alex Smith does. And Nick Fairley, and he wasn't alone, jumped off sides. That drew the Kansas City offensive line. But you see the penalties. New Orleans really hurting themselves today with all the extra penalty yardage.
3 false starts and now 2 defensive penalties. Smith on 3rd down and 5. Can't find anyone. He will run. And he picks up the first down. Stupar could not get over in time. So Smith picks up the first, and now some extracurricular activity.
Saw Alex Smith. First of all, we talked about his athleticism. He can roll. Remember at Utah was one of the original zone read guys out in the open. You see him use his athleticism. Stupar pushes him. It was not called, but then a little melee on the sidelines, and something was called on someone.
After the play, unnecessary roughness, personal foul. Offense number 45 with a leg hit out of bounds. Runner did gain the first down. So 15 yards from the spot that went out of bounds. There'll be a 1st and 10 from that spot.
You see the push by Stupar. Alex Smith was in bounds when he is pushed, but one thing I learned in this league, guys don't like their quarterback getting hit by the sideline, and so Jamal Charles was actually it was Sharkandrick West who was called for the penalty, going over there in the Saints sideline to protect his quarterback.
So as you heard from Clete Blakeman, Smith had already picked up the first down. They spot the ball 15 yards back, but it's a 1st and 10 from the Saints 49. And now a timeout is taken by Kansas City. Some movement, some confusion. So the Chiefs use a timeout.
is sponsored by Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
You take a look at this penalty. Wasn't a whole lot there, really. Charcandrick West, you see his right hand over there on Roman Harper. And Eric Bieniemy, the running back coach for the Chiefs, giving it to Charcandrick West on the sidelines.
Cost his team 15 yards. This is Ware, and Spencer Ware picks up a first down to the Saints 38.
Well, tremendous patience by Ware. But one thing you know with Spencer Ware, you better bring your pads. Arm tackles will not bring this guy down. He runs through contact. He's just getting right behind Duvernay Tardif. And again, running unimpeded for 10+ yards. Great blocking by the Chiefs offensive line in the run game for the second week in a row.
They set it down for Kansas City from the Saints 38. As Smith goes deep to the end zone, and the catch is made for a touchdown by Tyreek Hill.
Well, Kenny, this week, Alex Smith talked about Tyreek Hill and all the different ways they're using him. One thing he told us, the one thing you haven't seen, you're going to start seeing, is us going downfield to him. He can locate the football, and he can catch it, apparently, one-handed, left-handed. Great play by Smith to Tyreek Hill.
Hill's third touchdown of the season. Santos, the extra point. The Chiefs drive 85 yards, their longest drive of the season. Smith to Hill, 21-7, Kansas City.
Well, you talk about the vertical component, here it is. Like Al Davis once said, speed kills. Meanwhile, on the other side of the field, Travis Kelce. Come on, Alex, throw it my way. All right, great throw, Alex. That's awesome. Travis Kelce, a team guy.
Start the celebration.
It's just been a matter of time because this kid, I called him electric earlier. I turned on the film. I couldn't stop watching it. He could beat you in so many ways. And Alex Smith told us he's going to start getting down the field. He sure enough did.
Now it's the other rookie return man, Tommy Lee Lewis. First kickoff return of his career. And he is stopped just shy of the 25-yard line. Well, John, Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with NAMI in support of Mental Illness Awareness Week. Join us in replacing stigma with hope by learning more about how to be stigma-free. Visit foxsportssupports.com. Saints offense back onto the field. And Teron Armstead is back in the game. That's great news for Drew Brees.
It is tremendous news, and you just hope he can hold up. He's been out for 3 weeks, as you mentioned. Didn't look like much when he got injured, but you wonder if he can last through this entire game.
Tim Lolino remains in at left guard for Senio Kelemete. This is Tim Hightower running hard. And Hightower picks up a Saints first down out to the 36.
I like the call by Pete Carmichael Jr., the offensive coordinator, along with Sean Payton. The Chiefs starting to tee off, wanting to get upfield. Sometimes the best thing to do when people are teeing off and get on field is run right at them, and that's exactly what the Saints did.
Hightower gained 12. Off the fake to Hightower. Brees over the middle, and it is nearly picked off, broken up by Ron Parker. Chiefs with the interception earlier on the deflection, returned for a touchdown by Sorensen.
You watch Ron Parker right here, playing zone coverage, reading the eyes of Drew Brees. Great break. Nearly. He catches that. He goes the distance. Really good play by Ron Parker.
By the way, the return by Sorensen, the 26th career interception return for a touchdown by Brees. most among active quarterbacks. I guess when you play this long and you hold that many records, one of them might be a -1. Penalty marker as Ingram is forced out of bounds.
Holding. Offense, number 68. 10-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
That's on the left guard, Lolito's 6th New Orleans penalty.
Lolito's going to be the left guard. He's working against Jay Howard, and there he's grabbing. And that's what happens when backups are playing. They're playing against better players in a lot of instances.
Second down and 20 for the Saints following the penalty. Breeze over the middle, it's Thomas. As we head for a game break with Carissa Thompson. Carissa.
Thanks, Kenny. Minnesota at Philadelphia. Carson Wentz struggling today, but special teams picking up the slack. Josh Huff with a 98-yard kick return for a touchdown. The Eagles offense only had 76 yards up to that point after a 2-point conversion. They lead 8-3. Kenny, John, and Pam.
That's 2 weeks in a row for the Eagles. Special teams score.
Last week it was Smallwood. Today, Josh Huff.
Against the unbeaten Vikings. Third down and 13. Breeze checks it down to Willie Snead. And it's Sorensen. What a first half. And then a late flag is called. Sorensen, the tackle.
You wonder if they're going to get him for a horse collar, Kenny, at the end of that tackle. He was forced to tackle him in space. He got him down. Here's Sorensen. Now he's grabbing the hair, which we saw last week is a legal play. That is not a horse collar, so it'll be interesting to see if they pick that up. And yes, I did say the hair is legal.
Yes.
You can pull down on that.
There is no foul on the play for a face mask. Play stands is called and brings up 4th down.
If we've heard it from our colleague Mike Pereira once, we've heard it 100 times. The hair is legal.
It's the Ricky Williams rule.
You can tackle a player by his hair. So the flag is picked up. The always dangerous Tyreek Hill back deep for the Chiefs. Hill with a touchdown moments ago on offense. And he feels it, and that is met immediately by Brian Dixon at the 11-yard line. Chiefs went 85 yards on their last drive. Now they have to go 89.
You talk about decisions, good decisions, bad decisions. Not a good decision by Tyreek Hill. He got away with it there.
But it was Hill moments ago scoring the touchdown on the 38-yard reception from Alex Smith. Chiefs with touchdowns on their last 2 possessions, lead by 14.
You know, Kenny, and that's why I think this Chiefs team, we talked about they've been inconsistent. Win, loss, win, loss, win. Now all of a sudden, when you got speed like that, I think it develops an entire different element to this team. Tyreek Hill brings it, Travis Kelce brings it, Macklin. I think there's a different element to this offense that will give them staying power as they move forward in the season.
First time the Chiefs have alternated wins and losses over the first 5 games of the season. First and 10 from the 11-yard line. Catch is made and taken out to the 21. Close to a first down by the tight end, Demetrius Harris.
The Chiefs have done a really nice job of keeping this front of the New Orleans Saints that has some good pass rushers with Cam Jordan and Nick Fairley. Alex Smith has been clean today, and that's been a big reason for his success.
He has completed his last 6 attempts, John, including a pair of touchdowns. Harris awarded the first down, and now an issue with the down marker along the sidelines. Looks like they have things under control. So a first and 10 for Kansas City from their 21. This is Ware. And Ware stays on his feet. Ball came loose at the end of the play, but he was ruled down.
Again, great blocking by this offensive line. Eric Fisher, Mitch Morse pulling, and he's undeterred, and then you see him start running through tackles. The ball comes out late, but he's ruled down. Kenny, earlier in the year, that was Spencer Ware's problem. He fumbled the ball 3 consecutive games.
Right.
A big one versus Pittsburgh. Last week was clean with the football, but that has been an issue for him.
He picked up the first down, replaced in the backfield by West. And this play blown dead. False start, Kansas City.
False start. Offense number 80. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Tight end James O'Shaughnessy.
You know, Kenny, it's interesting. Alex Smith, 15 of 15 in Oakland. And he wore gloves on both hands. So this week, I know quarterbacks, when you go 15 of 15, you're 19 of 22, you're a little superstitious. So he said, no, you're right. It felt really good on both hands. I'm going to wear it on the left hand today. Alex Smith, growing up in San Diego, saying he's getting much more used to playing in the bad weather. Today, a beautiful day.
And he's completed his last 7, so he's almost halfway to 15.
One of the ways they're allowing him to complete so many is the balance in this offense. You see 11 rushes and 12 passes, really doing a great job keeping the Saints defense off balance.
Chiefs use their second timeout. 2:46 remaining, second quarter. We mentioned the Saints have scored and allowed at least 30 in each of their last 3 games. The only team to do it over the course of an entire season, the 1950 New York Yanks. They averaged 30 points on offense, 30 on defense that season. They played at Yankee Stadium. Back then, the Giants played at the Polo Grounds. So you have to go back to the 1950 New York Yanks.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I grew up a San Diego Charger fan, and I'm shocked they didn't set that same record. Because whoever had the ball last won.
Right. I wonder if Sean Payton was watching a New York Yanks film. Here's Smith following the timeout. Rolling right, under pressure. And then he throws it out of bounds and took the hit from David Onyemata. No flag. So it is ruled that Onyemata started the contact while Smith was first inbounds.
Yeah, I'm really surprised, though. He got rid of the ball. It looked like more than 2 steps for Onyemata. Don't know if that was necessary, and that could have been ugly for Alex Smith. So I see why the Chiefs and the Chiefs fans are not happy there. He's out of the pocket. I still felt like that was on the edge.
Onyemata, the 4th-round pick out of Manitoba, north of the border. Second down and 15. Smith with time. He throws, and that pass is incomplete. So it will be 3rd and 15 upcoming.
You know, it's fascinating watching the Chiefs offense operate, and you got this rookie Tyreek Hill, and we saw him down the field, but on that play we saw him as a decoy. So they use his speed. You see him, he's going to flash in your screen. He fakes that jet sweep, but speed draws attention, and so Andy Reid's taking advantage of a guy who's got unique speed as a decoy, as a running back, as a receiver. They're using this guy in a multitude of ways and very effectively.
3rd down and 15. Chiefs must get to the 42. They set up the screen for Spencer Ware out to the 35-yard line. And now the Saints will stop the clock prior to the 2-minute warning. They'll give themselves as much time as possible as they get the ball back. So Sean Payton using his second timeout as the Chiefs get set to punt it away.
Well, Kenny, we've talked so much about Tyreek Hill. The Saints have a rookie punt returner who's pretty electric himself in Tommy Lee Lewis. Andy Reid said about Tommy Lee Lewis, he can skedaddle. That means he can fly. And a little assist for the Saints having Tommy Lee Lewis. Bill Parcells, very close with Sean Payton, recommended this young man. And boy, you can see how this guy can get it done as well. Another speedster.
Sean Payton coached for Bill Parcells in Dallas. And Bill Parcells mentored Tommy Lee Lewis down in Florida. Lewis has trouble with it. Parcells won't be happy with that one.
He'll be FaceTiming him. He told me yesterday morning, 6:40 a.m., Coach Parcells was FaceTiming, and I'm sure ball security will be on the subject list this week. He'll hear Coach Parcells right now. You got to look it in. Tommy Lee Lewis gets away with one in a critical place on the field.
Very impressive that Coach Parcells uses FaceTime. What would Vince Lombardi say about that?
They'd say, you know that old thing, what the hell's going on out there?
So the Saints pinned it deep from their 4-yard line. Breeze from the end zone. There is a flag. Wide open to tight end Kobe Fleener, who gains 30 out to the 34-yard line. Flag was thrown in the end zone.
This is the 2-minute warning.
Well, the flag is still down in the end zone. 2-minute warning in KC. Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to iTunes.com/NFL. First and 10 for the Saints from the 34-yard line. First play following the 2-minute warning. And the catch is made by Fleener. Lost the football.
See, this ball did come out. Ball's out right there. Ball's loose. And Brandon Cooks, aware, alert.
So the Saints pick up a first down. We mentioned the flag on that previous play. We'll tell you about it in a second. Here's Thomas. And Thomas cannot get out of bounds. So this is the last play prior to the 2-minute warning. Watch the official upper left-hand corner. A flag is thrown apparently from the stands, and it lands by the official's feet. So, yes, a flag was thrown, but not by one of the 7 officials.
Well, I was thinking the same thing you were thinking. Safety holding in the end zone, but someone in the stands throwing flags.
Breeze moving to his right on second down. That pass was behind Willie Snead, so the clock stops with a minute remaining. 3rd down and 5 for New Orleans.
You see the offensive leaders, and this Drew Brees numbers. You see Mark Ingram running the football somewhat effectively, but just a really critical series because remember, New Orleans deferred. So you score here, you get the ball back, but getting some points on the board before you go to half, very critical for the Saints.
Saints last 3 possessions, interception, punt, punt. After they scored on their opening drive. Third down and 5. And the play clock winds all the way down.
Play again. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
I'm telling you, you're thinking at home, I'm sure, what, Drew Brees doing that, delay of game, but this noise, it makes you do things that you typically don't do. And like I said, you can listen to Bruce Springsteen out loud at practice, doesn't matter, it's different here and it affects everyone.
3rd down and 10. As Brees fires too far, he was looking for Thomas.
The Chiefs have not sacked Drew Brees. That's tough, but look at the push right up the middle. The hungry pig right in the middle, push in his face, hands up. And they talked about that. We've got to mirror him. We've got to be in his face, interrupt his view downfield, and they did a real nice job right there. The result was a high football down the middle.
You referenced the Hungry Pig. That's Dontari Poe, scored a touchdown on offense last week as the punt is pinned inside the 5-yard line. 49-yard kick. What's going on, Curt Menefee?
All right, coming up on the Visa halftime, Geno Smith gets to start with the Jets as they host the Baltimore Ravens. The Colts try to make it 10 in a row against the Titans, and Cleveland tries yet again to get its first win of the season. We'll be ready for that and more coming up on the Visa halftime.
All right, Curt, we look forward to it. Alex Smith and the Chiefs with a 21-7 lead. Saints scored first, setting a franchise record, scoring in 14 consecutive quarters, so it looks like that streak will come to an end.
Then the big plays started happening for the Chiefs. It all started with Spencer Ware's long touchdown reception. Then Sorensen intercepts the ball and takes it all the way for the pick six. And the momentum really shifted in a hurry in this game.
Kansas City with the 2 touchdowns late in the first quarter, as you mentioned, and then Smith hitting Tyreek Hill. There's Sorensen, first ever Chief with an interception return for a touchdown and a full sack in the same game. Never happened before. So the Chiefs take a 2-touchdown lead into the locker room at halftime. Drew Brees searching for answers as we send you to Los Angeles for the Visa halftime report. Take it away, Curt Menefee. Today's excitement brought to you by the new Nissan Titan. Catch is made and taken in for a touchdown by Brandon Cooks. And Ware still going all the way to the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. It is deflected and then picked off by Daniel Sorensen. Takes it all the way for a Chiefs touchdown.
Sorensen hustling to the football. When you do that, good things happen.
That was today's excitement brought to you by the new Nissan Titan. Drew Brees and the Saints struck first. 21 consecutive points for the Kansas City Chiefs as we get set to begin the third quarter.
Yeah, Kenny, and you know, this Saints offense led by Drew Brees, fully capable of comeback wins. They've done it this year against San Diego. They've done it a couple of times, but the one thing they have to start doing is hurting themselves. The penalties pre-snap, post-snap have been what has hindered them because they're moving the football. They keep going backwards, though, so they got to shore that up as well as their tackling on defense. The Chiefs, meanwhile, incredibly efficient yet explosive on offense. I like the way they're playing.
First half numbers. The only turnover was returned for a touchdown by Daniel Sorensen of the Chiefs. There's Tommy Lee Lewis. Back deep for the Saints, who won the toss, deferred. So they get the ball first. Here in the second half, they will start from their 25-yard line as we check in with Pam Oliver. Pam.
Hey, Kenny, talking to Sean Payton at halftime, he told me the first order of business, if you want to win the game, you can't lose the game, with what John said, those pre-snap penalties. Offensively, he said, we need to be a little more balanced. We have to not be one-dimensional. As for Andy Reid, I talked to him about the balance they were able to achieve. He said Alex is throwing the ball well, the runners are running the ball well, but he fully expects Sean Payton and Drew Brees to come out and play aggressively. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Pam. Brees and the Saints start from the 25-yard line. It is Ingram for a gain of 6 on first down. As usual, John, some terrific first half numbers from Drew Brees.
Yeah, you know, but this game's not, you know, Alex Smith said it this week. It's not about yards, it's about points. And so you see great yards. You know, Sean Payton mentioned to Pam running the football a little more. That puts a chill on a defense that has incredible momentum. There you see the imbalance for the Saints in the first half.
Only 41 yards on the ground as Cooks makes the catch. Just short of a Saints first down, so it will be 3rd down and 1.
You know, we've talked about the explosive nature increasing for the Chiefs. Don't forget about the Saints. They're as explosive as anyone in football. Brandon Cooks has touchdowns of 98 and 87 yards this year alone, so he can go the distance on any snap.
Saints send in number 78, Landon Turner, as an extra blocker. Here's Kuhn, the fullback. On the inside handoff from Brees, and he picks up a Saints first down.
And I can hear him all the way from Green Bay right now. Coon. And, you know, he's a guy, as I was watching film this week, I wrote down on my notes, 3rd and short, 4th and short. You need 1, he'll get you 1. You need 2, he'll get you 2. Whatever you need, John Coon will get you.
Were you chanting Coon in your office back home?
Actually, I was.
First down carry, Mark Ingram. Ingram out to the 39-yard line. We talked about the injuries on the offensive line. Armstead went out, the left tackle in the first half. Did not play the last 3 games. He has returned. Starts the second half. But Senio Kelemete has not, who started at left guard for the injured Andres Pete. So Tim Lolito remains in at left guard for the Saints. Second down and 8. It's Hightower on the screen. And Hightower takes it out to the 43-yard line. Saints facing a 3rd down and 3.
Tell you what, we showed Sorensen in the first half. He had some splash plays. There's not a splash play, but just a really good play. Eludes a block, and then look at this hustle and tackle. Daniel Sorensen having a fine game for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Now has 5 tackles, a sack, and an interception return for a touchdown. And now Hightower able to work his way into Chiefs territory. So a first down for New Orleans to the Chiefs 43. Sorensen with that first half sack. Speaking of sacking Drew Brees, you had 13 career sacks, John. 3 of the 13 were sacks of Drew Brees.
I don't know how, because he gets rid of it in a hurry. I played against Drew a lot, and maybe that's part of the equation.
Nearly a quarter of your career sacks came against Drew, but it still talks to you. Here's Ingram. Well, we take you back to the AFC West rivalry.
I want to be very clear to everyone in San Diego. I did not hurt Drew Brees. I sacked him. He dove in for the ball. There's where he dislocated his shoulder. But as I tell Drew often, I deserve some royalties because I sent him to New Orleans, where it's been all good ever since.
There you go. Second down and 6. Brees to the outside for a first down. It's Brandon Cooks to the Kansas City 32.
Brandon Cooks, excellent football player, and he's got such speed that plays like this are there. You see the timing of Brees hitting on that last foot, but the speed of Cooks opens up separation like that, because you have to respect his speed downfield. The underneath consequently opens up.
From the 32, it's Ingram, tripped up, stays on his feet. And Ingram gains 5 as we head to Los Angeles for a game break. Carissa Thompson.
Hey, Kenny, Cleveland at Cincinnati. How about this? The Browns are on their 6th quarterback this year. Kevin Hogan, the rookie out of Stanford, doing it himself. A 28-yard touchdown run. Keeps his team in the game. The Bengals lead 21-17. Kenny, John, and Pam.
Thanks, Carissa. Bengals will be heading to London next week, and we'll be right there with them.
I'm just thinking about Stanford. He was our quarterback last year. 3 points yesterday without him.
That's right. Second down and 5. Brees in trouble. There's a flag. Brees taken down back at the 34-yard line by Dee Ford, who had 2 sacks against the Raiders last week.
Kenny, that's a coverage sack. Nowhere for Drew Brees to go.
Offside. Defense number 91. Lined up in the neutral zone. The 5-yard penalty. The yardage is enough for a first down.
It's on Tamba Hali.
Well, that's a good sign for the Saints, because early in the first half, everything was going their way on the penalties, and now Tamba Hali lines up in the neutral zone and gets the resultant offsides penalty.
4 receiver set. Snead in the slot. 1st and 10 from the 22. Brees finds Snead, and Willie Snead takes it down to the 15-yard line. So, John, the Saints are in the red zone once again. You talked about how impressive they've been inside the 20 this season. They're 1 for 1 today.
They've been very impressive all year long. But if you're Sean Payton, Drew Brees, the guy you got to look out for, Marcus Peters. 5 interceptions this year, 13 in 16 games in the NFL. Just on a torrid pace. Down in the red zone, space is condensed. Guys like Marcus Peters feast on red zone opportunities.
11th play of the drive for the Saints. This is Ingram. Forced back and is brought down back at the 18-yard line.
It's a great job by this group up here, just building a wall. Dontari Poe. There's Chris Jones.
Ramik Wilson, 53, who eventually was in on the tackle. He was signed on Tuesday from the practice squad. So many injuries on the defensive side. Chiefs signed 4 defensive players on Tuesday, 3 of them from their practice squad. 3rd down and 5. Drew Brees is 4 for 4 on this drive. And Brees signals timeout.
Game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Nissan. Innovation that excites. And by Corona Extra, who invites you to find your beach.
We're playing from behind. The clock is everything, as are timeouts. And you see the play clock here at Kansas City up high. Typically, it's right on the sideline of the quarterback. Drew Brees, trying to get protection right, had to burn a valuable timeout.
3rd down and 5 following that timeout. As Brees throws, there is a flag. And another. Fleener in the end zone, defended by White. 1 flag back around the line of scrimmage, another in the end zone.
Wow, they're calling offensive PI on Fleener. You see the hand fighting going on. DJ White asking for it. He got it.
There are fouls against both teams on the play. Offside, defense number 91 lined up in the neutral zone. Pass interference, offense number 81. Those penalties offset. Will replay. 3rd down.
It's 82, Fleener and Tamba Hali. Penalties offset.
Tamba Hali for the 2nd time in this series aligning in the neutral zone. There he is up top. See that right hand to Tamba Hali's pass the ball. So you got to adjust. They call you once, you got to back it off.
Once again, 3rd down and 5 for the Saints. 3 receivers to the left side. Brees steps up. He throws. It's complete. And Ingram picks up a 1st down to the Kansas City 10.
Now there's a term called pocket presence. And you watch Drew Brees, and this is just textbook. He secures the ball, 2 hands. You watch him, nothing's there. Good coverage, zone coverage. So you just step to the left, but you hold on to that ball, and then you go through your progression. He's to his 4th or 5th guy. It's just what makes Drew Brees special. Very underrated athlete at the quarterback position.
So a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. This is Ingram. He's inside the 5. And Ingram finally tackled inside the 3-yard line.
A nice job by this offensive line. We've been talking about it. They've been beat up, but Lelito, Jari Evans, and Zach Strief, that's a big hole. Mark Ingram taking advantage of it, and Sean Payton staying true to his word of being more balanced in the 2nd half, as he told Pam Oliver.
Three receivers set. Snead slot to the left. 2nd and goal from the Chiefs 3. Brees throws. It is Ingram, and he is in for a Saints touchdown. There is a flag.
We're going to see if they're going to call offensive pass interference. They ran traffic, and Drew Brees upset.
He ran immediately over to the referee, Clete Blakeman.
There is no foul of the play for offensive pass interference. The block was legal because of its position. Result of the play is a touchdown.
There it is right there. But if the ball's caught within 1 yard of the line of scrimmage, that is a legal block, and so thus it was picked up, and Drew Brees very happy.
14-play drive, second touchdown pass of the day for Drew Brees. Will Lutz, reigning NFC Special Teams Player of the Week, with the game-winning field goal against Carolina last Sunday, off the left upright and good. Ingram celebrates. The New Orleans Saints are within a touchdown in Kansas City. A 14-play, 75-yard drive. Brees perfect, 6 for 6. Saints gaining more rushing yards, John, on that drive than the entire first half.
Not sometimes, you have to be committed to the run game to run effectively, and they committed to it on that first drive.
Short kickoff as the Saints keep it away from Tyreek Hill, and it's taken all the way out to the 38-yard line by Demetrius Harris. So a Saints touchdown to start the second half from Brees to Ingram, and now Alex Smith hopes to answer right back.
Today's game is sponsored by Verizon. Join the Better Network because better matters.
Welcome back. Chiefs with a 7-point lead. Just past the midway point of the third quarter. Kenny Albert, John Lynch, Pam Oliver. Best starting field position of the game for Alex Smith and the Chiefs. On first down, complete out to the 45-yard line. It is Maclin for a gain of 8.
Quick, rhythmic, that's right up the wheelhouse of Alex Smith. He wants to throw on time, and you're challenged. Dennis Allen talked about it, the defensive coordinator for the Saints. We want to make Alex Smith hold the football. When he does, his eyes come down. But Alex Smith in time, on rhythm.
Spencer Ware in the backfield, second down and 2. Smith to the outside. First down and more for DeAnthony Thomas. Into Saints territory to the New Orleans 40 as Thomas gains 15.
We talked to Travis Kelce this week about blocking. He does it so well. He takes a lot of pride in it. And you're not always going to get the ball, but you can spring other players. And when you've got athletes and speed like DeAnthony Thomas and Tyreek Hill and Jeremy Maclin, everyone's a little more encouraged to do their job because you know it could break at any time.
Remember Kelce, a terrific athlete, he was a quarterback in high school. His brother Jason, the center for the Eagles. Another first down as the catch is made inside the 30-yard line by Maclin for a gain of 11.
And this is kind of a lost art because in today's football, I think with all the rules, guys aren't afraid of getting hit, but Alex Smith taking care of his receiver, not only completion, but the ball location. Really cool right there because he's taking care of his buddy Jeremy Maclin, and I promise you Jeremy Maclin appreciates that.
Three receivers bunch formation to the left. It is Ware on the handoff from Smith. Alex Smith, John, who grew up in San Diego. Remember Drew Brees started his career with the Chargers. They spent some time together during the off seasons, worked out together a bit. They're involved in one of the great all-time postseason games, 2011 season, as we check out the Chiefs offensive leaders. Smith with the 49ers in San Francisco against the Saints. 4 touchdowns in the last 4 minutes, back and forth. And Smith and the 49ers came away with the victory. The only time he's beaten Drew Brees head-to-head in 4 tries.
He's got a lot of respect for Drew Brees, as most people in this league do.
Second down and 6. Smith to the outside. It is Albert Wilson. His first catch today. Wilson to the Saints 21.
Well, last week it was 9 different targets for Alex Smith and the Chiefs, really 10, but they counted the hungry pig, the one to Dontari Poe, as a run. But this is kind of the area where you got to look for Dontari Poe on the sidelines because he gets up in Andy Reid's ear saying, hey, coach, I'm here for you. 5 and in, I'm good.
I can catch it whenever you throw it to me. Third down and 2. On the toss, it's West. And West will not get there. Nice play made by Von Bell to force West out of bounds. And Bell is shaken up.
You watch Von Bell. He sees the toss. This is a nice football play by a young kid who I think has a lot of promise for the New Orleans Saints. Running to the football, making a short tackle short of the line to gain.
Rookie second-round pick out of Ohio State. So Andy Reid sends out the field goal unit. Cairo Santos, who is out of Tulane University in New Orleans, once had a tryout with the Saints before coming to Kansas City. 39-yard attempt from the right hash. And the kick by Santos is good. So the Chiefs, following the Saints touchdown, extend their lead to 10. Drew Brees and the Saints offense back on the field next. 2 touchdown passes apiece for Drew Brees and Alex Smith.
Alex Smith, when we talked to him, was very pointed. I'm not playing against Drew Brees. I'm playing against the Saints defense, and it's about points. Right now, he's got the advantage in points.
Chiefs lead by 10. Lewis and Cadet back deep. Tommy Lee Lewis will take a knee. Looked like he thought about taking it out. Marcus Peters and the Chiefs leading by 10. Screening saves lives in the NFL, and American Cancer Society encourage everyone to join in the fight against breast cancer. Learn more about a Crucial Catch Day on October 25th. Find out how you can help make a crucial catch at NFL.com/pink. Here in Kansas City, breast cancer survivors and honorees participated in various on-field pregame festivities. And the Chiefs women's organization, John, stationed outside the stadium, engaging fans who have had a loved one or friend touched by breast cancer to participate in a selfie card activation. Here's Tim Hightower. Hightower out across the 30-yard line for a gain of 5 with the Saints trailing by 10.
Kenny, I would just add, Tammy Reed, the wife of Andy Reid, was down on the field and very excited about all that the Chiefs and the NFL are doing for the fight against breast cancer. Tammy and Andy Reid, 2 of the best people around the NFL.
Absolutely. Great job by the Chiefs and the Reid family. Second down and 5. Again, it is Hightower. Remember, Hightower missed 3 full seasons due to knee injuries and rehab. To Los Angeles, Carissa.
Thanks, Kenny. Buffalo at Miami. The Dolphins coming off their big win against Pittsburgh, but Tyrod Taylor delivers this 67-yard touchdown pass to Marquise Goodwin. Bills looking for their 5th straight win. They lead right now 17-6. Kenny, John, and Pam.
Wow, ever since making the change at offensive coordinator, the Bills are on a roll. Hightower picked up the first down. Brees with time, throws, and it's incomplete.
We saw the sack by Sorensen in the first half. Here's that delayed blitz. The guys at halftime, Terry and Howie. Terry was saying the hardest thing for an offense, but Jahri Evans this time snuffs it out, gives Drew Brees time, but the coverage was really good.
Second and 10 from the 36-yard line. On second down, it's Hightower. Hightower to the 39 for a gain of 3.
Sean Payton, Pete Carmichael, the offensive coordinator, staying extremely committed to the run because it's been successful. But now a 3rd and 7. There's the run game in the second half. Already outgained what they did in the first half.
3rd down and 7. Saints 6 for 10 on 3rd down. They must get to the 46. This is Snead, and he will not get there. Stopped about a yard shy by Eric Berry.
So much respect for Eric Berry. Not only his story, beating cancer and then coming back, but just the player he is. Look at this tackle in open space and bringing it so that he keeps him short of the line to gain. That's just a great play by Eric Berry.
Last year's NFL Comeback Player of the Year. Berry forcing a Saints punt. Late third quarter. Thomas Morstead back at his 31. Tyreek Hill deep for the Chiefs. Fair catch called for back at the 5-yard line.
Well, there's a little guy who's really fast, and we're going to show you a big guy who's really fast. The Hungry Pig. It's a sensation going around the country. And that's Dontari Poe scoring a touchdown against the Oakland Raiders. And Alex Smith says, boy, we practiced this for 2 years, had a lot of great, pretty days, but we picked a day in the rain. But Andy Reid said it best. That was his call, and he said that was for all the chubby guys out there. Hungry Pig right. I love the music.
Poe telling us, I make one-handed catches in practice. Growing up, I was always throwing and catching footballs. His second career touchdown on offense.
He said, I always tell Coach Reid, you got to play your percentages, and with me, it's 100%.
So now without Dontari Poe on the field with the offensive unit, Chiefs start from their 5-yard line, leading by 10. This is Spencer Ware. And Ware will take it out to the 11-yard line for a gain of 6.
I tell you, this offensive line for the Chiefs the last 2 weeks, their run blocking has been outstanding. Behind Eric Fisher, Tardif, Enger, the left guard, the rookie who they put in after the bye week, Mitch Morse and Mitchell Schwartz over there on the right tackle side. A lot of kudos being earned by these offensive linemen. You see last week 183 yards rushing, today 88 yards already.
Second down and 3. Again, it is Ware, and he will pick up a Chiefs first down. Tackled by Robertson as the third quarter comes to an end in Kansas City with the Chiefs leading the Saints by 10. Fourth quarter coming up.
Well, the 57th season for the Kansas City Chiefs here in Kansas City at Arrowhead. Hank Stram, Lenny Dawson matriculating the ball down the field, and Marty Schottenheimer along with Derek Thomas, the late great Derek Thomas. So many great players, such great tradition. Kenny, you come in here, we were in here at 9 o'clock this morning, and the tailgate was in full force here in Kansas City. A great, great spectacle here.
It's tremendous. First and 10 from the 20-yard line. First play of the fourth quarter. Gain of 1 for Spencer Ware. And it will also be a great spectacle, John, in Denver tomorrow night. Congratulations, as you'll be inducted into the Denver Broncos Ring of Fame. 4 seasons in Denver, 4 Pro Bowls. Not too shabby.
Nah, it's going to be a tremendous honor. Thank you. I'm extremely humbled for the honor from the Bolin family. Everybody down in Denver. Going to be a fun couple nights down there, and I'm looking forward to it.
And then in 2 weeks, another induction ceremony down in Tampa. The Buccaneers Ring of Honor. Smith to Macklin for Chiefs first down out to the 34. You couldn't find a third team to honor you?
I got to go to London in between.
That's it.
Watch Jeremy Macklin. So much respect for this guy. Knowing he's going to get hit behind him. Again, Alex Smith, though, intentionally throws it behind him to keep him away from Nate Stupar coming into the screen. Really, Alex Smith's best throw, if you ask me, is that inside slant post. The in-breaking routes on time, and Jeremy Macklin as good as anybody in catching those routes.
Fourth reception for the former Eagle. First and 10, 34-yard line. Smith hitting West out of the backfield. And West takes it out to the 38-yard line for a gain of 4. Alex Smith, perfect, 6 for 6 since halftime.
You look at these Saints. I talked about Kenny. The numbers really don't show, but I see improvement. And the good thing for them, the reinforcements are coming. Delvin Breaux, one of their starting corners, coming back. Sheldon Rankins 12th pick in the draft. He's coming back. They're super excited about him, along with Dannell Ellerbe at the linebacker position.
2nd down and 7. Not much for West. Darryl Tapp, the 11-year vet, coming up to make the tackle. So it will be 3rd down and 6 for Alex Smith and the Chiefs.
This is big for the Saints as the clock continues to tick. You're up by 10 if you're the Chiefs. Makes it really hard if you can convert here and continue to kill that clock. A crucial 3rd down for the Saints. Interesting to see what defensive coordinator Dennis Allen dials up. He's showing a pressure look right now.
Von Bell moves up towards the line. Chiefs must get to the 44, and they cannot. Harris thought he had it, but could not hold on.
Well, they showed pressure and bluffed out. That's a ball you have to catch. Perfectly thrown by Alex Smith, and Demetrius Harris just can't hold on.
The former basketball player at Wisconsin-Milwaukee unable to make the catch. Tommy Lee Lewis back deep. Colquitt will punt it away for the 3rd time. Taken at the 22 by Lewis. Colquitt, the punter, came up limping as Lewis returns it out to the 33-yard line. 10 yards on the return. Harris upset following the drop. Saints take over.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Microsoft Surface, the official tablet of the NFL, and by Taco Bell's Rolled Chicken Tacos.
Back in Kansas City. Never know what you might see when the Saints are involved.
Close to Halloween, and
Yep.
the Saints fans are showing up.
1st and 10, 33-yard line. Breeze complete to the tight end, Josh Hill. Hill out to the 39-yard line for a gain of 6. Well, next Saturday, huge day in college football on Fox and FS1. 12th ranked West Virginia battles Oklahoma State on Fox. And then the number 5 Washington Huskies take on the 19th ranked Utah Utes at 3:30 Eastern on FS1. It's all streaming live on Fox Sports Go. We'll have to check it out from London.
Let's do it.
Redskins and Bengals next Sunday. Nationally televised game as Mark Ingram picks up a 1st down.
And the Saints staying true to their balance on offense. And it's even with Drew Brees, you know, it's something I asked Sean Payton and Drew Brees, because they've always talked about whenever they've been successful as an organization, the run game has been a big part of what they do. This year it's been skewed, but a lot of that has been situational. They've had to play from behind, but today, even behind, they're staying with the run game.
Here's Ingram. And you saw the numbers, the Saints approaching 100 yards on the ground. The season high for one Saint is 77. Ingram up to 56 yards today.
Max Unger, you typically don't see centers pulling. It's called a white block, and it takes a really talented athlete to do it. Max Unger, remember, he was part of the Jimmy Graham trade. Max Unger, a really good center for the Saints.
2nd down and 5 as Brees throws. Nice adjustment made by the rookie Thomas for a 1st down.
Michael Thomas, that's typically veteran receivers that run this type of route because it takes a lot of time on task. But Drew Brees feeling really good about his chemistry with Michael Thomas, and much like his uncle Keyshawn Johnson used to do, he pushes off to get open, but it worked. Keyshawn did it well.
You didn't mind?
I didn't mind at all.
When he was on your side.
Not at all.
23 yards on the 6th catch by Thomas today. Brees on 1st down. Brees going deep for Cooks with Ron Parker on the coverage.
And Kenny, you just said it, Ron Parker on Brandon Cooks. Now typically you think a safety on a wide receiver, not a good matchup, but Bob Sutton talked about one of the things with his safeties, Ron Parker in particular, he used to be a corner. So they're perfectly comfortable although he is listed as a safety, he has corner capabilities. It gives them great versatility in their defense because both safeties can cover extremely well.
Second down and 10. Breeze on second down, underneath to Ingram, and he gets wrapped up at the 25-yard line by Ramik Wilson. Short gain on the play. Saints now facing a 3rd down and 8.
Really interesting, Kenny. Marcus Peters, you might be getting bored over there because they didn't talk about it, did the Saints, coming in. They did say they wanted Thomas over to their left side. They haven't challenged Marcus Peters much, if at all, today. Now you got Michael Thomas on his side, but with the reduced split probably coming across the formation.
3rd down and 8. Breeze throws near side, complete for a first down to Willie Snead as he beats Steven Nelson on the play. Snead gaining 12 on his 8th catch today.
There's Snead, and I talked earlier, big situations when you watch film of these guys, Drew Brees tends to go to Willie Snead. He doesn't lead the team in receptions, but I would argue and submit to you that in crucial, critical situations, he's become Drew Brees' favorite target.
Some big catches today. Saints back in the red zone, 2 for 2. Here's Ingram. And Ingram lost the football. Second Saints turnover. John, you've been talking about Marcus Peters. He came up with it.
Another impressive drive. Ron Parker with the peanut punch. Peanut Tillman in studio. He's taught the whole league how to do it.
There's Bob Sutton, the Chiefs defensive coordinator. Chiefs lead the league with 5 takeaways in the red zone this season. So following the fumble by Ingram, it is Spencer Ware. Let's take one more look.
Well, look at Ron Parker. And we talked about that peanut punch. That's Charles Tillman, who works for us in studio on the Fox Kickoff Show, and he just gets in there, punches it out. You know, if you're Mark Ingram, you have to secure the ball, but I'm telling you, when someone punches at it like that, that's tough. And Sean Payton, who is committed to the run, and another impressive drive to come up empty-handed is tough.
See, 38 is Parker, who knocked it free. Getting the ball from Peters, 22. Peters on the recovery. And now Ware runs into his own man. Kenny Vaccaro coming up as well for the Saints. So New Orleans drives 8 plays, 59 yards into the red zone, down by 10, and they turn it over.
That hurts. That hurts in a big way. Most of those Chiefs turnovers in the red zone came via Ryan Fitzpatrick. The day he had 6 interceptions, I think 4 of them down in the red zone. But just a great play by Ron Parker.
3rd down and 12. Chiefs must get to the 38-yard line. Movement prior to the snap. False start.
And I think the Saints drew him, though.
False start. Wow. Offense number 17. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
17 is Chris Conley.
Chris Conley. And so it was Conley. If you looked inside, it was the Saints that jumped off, but outside, Conley does move early. Makes it an even tougher 3rd down.
3rd down and 17. Back at the 21. Following the Saints turnover. Under 7 minutes to play. Kansas City leading by 10. Smith steps up and fires. And the catch was made inbounds by Conley for a Chiefs 1st down.
Look at that control, strong hands, both feet in, and what a throw by Alex Smith.
And now the Chiefs quickly to the line, but the Saints have challenged. If you're Sean Payton, you may as well take the chance. Why not? With only 6.5 to play, You can't challenge after the 2-minute warning.
I think it's going to be an empty challenge, though, because you see control. You see 2 feet with the right toe drag. Great catch by Conley.
But definitely worth the challenge. So Clete Blakeman will take a look.
Receiver gain yards gain.
Today's game is sponsored by FedEx, helping small business simplify e-commerce.
These are just strong hands. Chris Conley has the false start penalty and then makes up for it. Control all the way to and through the process of the catch going to the ground. And what a throw by Alex Smith, because when you see who was breathing down his neck right in his face, Nick Fairley, big man. Nick Fairley coming right at Alex Smith, and he hangs in there knowing he's going to get hurt, get hit.
After review, the ruling on the field stands as called. There is a catch, out of bounds, first down to Kansas City. That'll be New Orleans' second timeout. In addition, they are out of challenges.
So on 3rd and 17, it's an 18-yard completion. Chiefs averaging over 9 yards per pass today. It's the 4th. Well, they've had 4 completions of at least 20 yards. And Alex Smith, John, has spread the ball around. 10 different receivers. He's 17 of 23.
And Kenny, what I was talking about, he's always been an efficient quarterback. But now we're seeing the explosive nature, the vertical stretch of this Kansas City game. And I think that's a game changer for them as you move forward, because the explosive teams are always the teams that go the furthest. One other point, we saw Nick Fairley breathing down Alex Smith's neck. I want to send our condolences and prayers out to their family. He lost his mother this week. Suddenly, a tough loss for the Fairley family, and Nick Fairley, very courageous to be out here today.
Playing with a heavy heart following the passing of his mom, Paula Rogers. So a new set of downs for the Chiefs. This is Spencer Ware. And getting back to Alex Smith for a second, John. A lot of people might not get this answer in a trivia contest, but since Smith came to the Chiefs, 2013, it's his 4th season in Kansas City, only Russell Wilson and Tom Brady have more wins in the entire NFL than Alex Smith these last 4 years.
Last time I checked, that's the name of the game. And now the next step is doing that in the postseason here in Kansas City. Both he and Andy Reid. Let's not forget, this was a team that won 10 straight to finish the year last season.
Right, they beat Houston in the wild card game, lost by 7 to New England. They keep it on the ground with under 6 minutes remaining. And across the 45-yard line, it is Ware. Drew Brees waiting for another opportunity, with the Chiefs facing a 3rd down and 3.
Waiting patiently, eagerly, pacing on the sidelines. But you got to also remember, with the Chiefs, arguably their best defensive player, Justin Houston, who injured his knee at the end of last year, he practiced this week. So it's coming in a couple weeks, and you see a lot of signs pointing towards the Chiefs playing really well as this season progresses.
Houston looking to return to the field, working his way back. Chiefs use their first timeout. And coming up this Tuesday, it's game 1 of the World Series. The Chicago Cubs and the Cleveland Indians. Yes, the Cubs and the Indians. Pre-game show at 7 Eastern on FS1. And then game 1 on Tuesday. Joe Buck, John Smoltz will have the call. And how about Kyle Schwarber? 3rd game of the season, 3rd of 162. He tore ligaments in his knee. He's hoping to be on the World Series roster for the Cubs, and Danny Salazar has not started a game since September 9th.
You think they put Schwarber on the roster? Hard to mess with chemistry the way it's going.
Sounds like they might. He was a big part of that Cubs team last year. We'll see. 3rd down and 3. Smith swings it out, but West unable to make the catch, so the Saints will get the ball back with just over 5 minutes remaining.
Really good play by Craig Robertson, getting in the way of that connection between Drew Brees.
No Lewis. It is Bird back deep for the Saints.
And remember, Tommy Lee Lewis dropped that last one down near the goal line, so putting the sure hand to Jairus Byrd in to receive this ball.
Punter Colquitt limped off following his last kick. Punts this one from the 36, end over end. And Byrd lets it go, and it takes a Saints bounce into the end zone for a touchback. So the Chiefs offense unable to capitalize on the opportunity. Drew Brees and the Saints back on the field, down by 10. Andy Reid, 300th game as an NFL head coach. His Chiefs lead Sean Payton's Saints by 10.
You know, Kenny, we've been talking about balance. I think balance has to go out the door because of time right now. Drew Brees got to take them all the way back.
First and 10, 20-yard line as Brees throws it into the ground in the vicinity of Travaris Cadet.
Yeah, but the hungry pig got in the way of that. He snuffed out that screen pass and was all over it. Drew Brees had to throw it away.
Under 5 minutes remaining. Saints committing their second turnover on their last possession. You saw Peters, he recovered it. Second down and 10. Brees throws, complete. Thomas, first down and more. Thomas crossing the 40, out of bounds, so the clock stops at 4:49, his 7th catch.
This is called a shallow cross, and it's something Michael Thomas really excels at. Right there was a void in the zone, and you hit him on the run, and that's where Drew Brees' accuracy, when you're accurate, the yards after the catch can be maximized, and there's a great example of it.
First and 10 from the 41. 3 receivers set. Brees hits Cooks. Out of bounds. Gain of 7 out to the 48-yard line, setting up a second down and 3.
Saints doing a really good job of not only moving the ball, but preserving valuable seconds, getting out of bounds on 2 consecutive plays. Thomas first and then Cooks.
None of the Chiefs saved the Saints some time on their last drive by using a timeout.
And then throwing on 3rd down.
Second down and 3. Brees to Cadet. Nice move, and Cadet across midfield into Chiefs territory has another Saints first down.
Marcus Peters, really good player. We talk about him as an interceptor, but you watch the way that he comes and tackles him. He's saying, you're not getting out of bounds. He's running to his outside leg and keeps the clock running as a result.
Saints quickly to the line. First and 10 from the Kansas City 48. Brees on first down, over the middle, complete. To the Kansas City 35, it is Cooks, his 7th catch of the day for a gain of 13.
This is an impressive drive. They're moving it swiftly down the field. They're getting big chunks, and they've done a great job, as I alluded to, preserving the clock as well.
They've gone 5 plays, 45 yards in under a minute. Started back at their own 20. From the Chiefs 34 on the slant, it is Thomas. Gain of 5. That's his 8th catch. New career high for Michael Thomas. Second down and 5.
Chiefs playing out without Philip Gaines, one of their starting corners, but DJ White filling in admirably.
Brees throws, complete. It is Thomas again. Stays in bounds inside the 5. And Thomas finally out of bounds. Gain of 26. And Thomas shaken up.
DJ White filling in admirably until he wasn't, because Michael Thomas runs right through the tackle, and then Eric Berry comes and puts a hurting on Michael Thomas.
Thomas with 8 catches, 111 yards, back on his feet. Yet another milestone for Drew Brees. First player in NFL history with 100 300-yard games. How about that?
Remember when it used to be a big deal when someone threw for 300? Guys like Drew Brees have made it just another home day.
Peyton Manning did it 93 times. 4th time this season for Brees. First and goal from the 8. Brees to Cadet. Michael Thomas injured on that last play.
Critical there, they did not stop the clock. They said he was down inbounds, so they kept the clock rolling.
And now Thomas returns.
And the Saints surprisingly huddling. I'm wondering if they thought that he was indeed out of bounds, but the clock ticking.
Well, Thomas is back, split out wide to the left. Second and goal. And the play is blown dead.
False start. Offense, number 38. 5-yard penalty. So second down.
That's on Cadet, the 8th Saints penalty.
Listen, it's not an excuse, but it's real. The noise here on Arrowhead. These fans never sit down, stand up the entire game. They're loud the entire game, and they contribute to the Saints now having 8 penalties, a lot of those being false starts before the ball's ever snapped.
Second and goal from the 10. 3 receivers to the left. Breeze looking. Now he throws, and that is broken up by D. Ford. Cadet, the intended receiver.
That's a really nice play by D. Ford. We think of D. Ford as a pass rusher. Had 2 sacks last week. He draws the coverage of Cadet. Maybe pulls him. Could have been a PI. You see that left hand pull and restrict him, but gets away with it. Remember, Kenny, for the Saints, 2-score games, so you need 2 scores anyway. So if you don't get it here, you kick the field goal, then try to get the ball back.
Third and goal. Play clock winding down. Saints get the snap away, and a timeout was called by the Chiefs. Their second. So with the Saints trailing by 10, third and goal coming up, John, from the 10-yard line. Like you said, if they don't score a touchdown, kick the field goal down by 7, and then hope to get the ball back.
And they're certainly capable. You got to give the Chiefs a lot of credit here. That last drive where the Chiefs went all the way, or excuse me, the Saints went all the way down the field, and Ron Parker punched that ball out. Biggest play in this game in my mind, because it negated and put the Saints in this situation where they're down 10 with 2:40 left. So time is running out for the Saints, but they are certainly capable of making this happen. They could score in a hurry.
And they are so good in the red zone, as we've talked about throughout the day. Best in the league, 2 for 3 today. Third and goal. Breeze looking end zone, can't find anyone. Moving to his right. Now he throws, and it is Coleman for a Saints touchdown. Breeze needed all kinds of time. And then Brandon Coleman was the target, his first touchdown of the season.
And Brandon Coleman, we haven't seen him the entire game. This is his first catch. But what he does a great job of just staying alive. Just keep working, find some open space. That's exactly what he does. And Drew Brees finds him with the perfect throw.
Third touchdown pass of the game for Drew Brees. The extra point is good. It's a 3-point game with 2:32 remaining.
Well, credit 2 things. Here's Coleman working in the middle, but watch Drew Brees buy time by extending the play. It's a 3-man rush. So what do you do versus the 3-man rush? You got a lot in coverage, so you got to take time to let it uncover. There's Coleman. He finds the soft spot in the zone, and Drew Brees finds him. And Drew Brees fired up. Boy, I told Sean Payton this week, when I used to play against him in San Diego when he was first starting, I never thought he'd become this. But one thing I knew, this guy was a competitor, and you had to fight him for 60 minutes or he would come back and beat you. And he still is that today, in addition to being one of the most prolific passers ever to play.
As you mentioned, Coleman with his first catch of the day. Brees has connected with 9 different receivers. Saints within 3.
Kenny, the thing that amazing to me, the productivity, but all these receivers are new within the last 2 years. And Drew Brees like we said, the beat goes on. He just keeps producing regardless of who's catching it for him.
Onside kick. Out of bounds. So with the Saints trailing by 3, Chiefs football 2.5 remaining. Game break, Carissa Thompson.
Kenny, a great one in Detroit. The Redskins were down 3 with just over a minute left. Kirk Cousins zone read puts his team in the lead. But how about this? 22 seconds left. Matt Stafford will find Anquan Bolden for the score. Detroit 2017 with 3 seconds left. Kenny?
All right, thanks, Carissa.
A great play by Jeremy Maclin going up. He's the designated catcher, but in this instance, he bats it out of bounds. Tremendous job, because if not, Fleener has that ball, and the Saints have life. Instead, Maclin knocks it out of bounds, and the Chiefs get possession.
First and 10, Kansas City at the New Orleans 46-yard line.
Saints have 1 timeout. This is Ware, and he's tackled by Cameron Jordan. So the Saints will use their final timeout with 2:26 remaining.
Cameron Jordan, extraordinary player up front, and you just see this effort by Jordan. He's up front, he just owns the tight end there and then runs through and makes the tackle. You see that over and over. Just a really nice job.
So the Saints are out of timeouts. So the Chiefs will run their second down play here. Then they can take it down to the 2-minute warning. The third down play following the 2-minute warning. If they don't pick up a first down, they would punt it back with about 1:15 remaining.
The Chiefs, you got to keep the clock running. So either run the ball or save completions, but then keep it in bounds. And the first down's everything.
The end around to Hill. Nate Stupar, the first Saint to get a piece of him. There is a flag. So the clock stops. Hill went out of bounds, plus a penalty marker has been thrown. So this will change the dynamic of what we just talked about as far as the timing.
Pete Blakeman in a conference trying to figure out what's going on.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 90. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down, Kansas City.
That's on Nick Fairley.
And that's a backbreaker for the Saints. Fairley up top. Now remember, there was a fake, and then they went with the reverse, and he tosses Spencer Ware. Unnecessary, tough week for Nick Fairley, but a costly play to his team at the end of the game.
So it's a first down for the Chiefs. So that changes everything. First of all, they're in field goal range. West. Saints are out of a timeout, so now the clock will run down to the 2-minute warning. So a huge penalty committed by Nick Fairley, with the Chiefs leading the Saints by 3.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by State Farm, here to help life go right.
Coming up after the game, the State Farm game break. Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy. They'll have scores and highlights from around the league, and they'll get you ready for America's Game of the Week. Chiefs leading the Saints by 3. New Orleans out of timeouts. Second down and 9 from the 29. Inside the 25 to the 24-yard line, Spencer Ware. Nothing the Saints can do about the clock.
The only thing they can do is get the ball back somehow. But you think of that Nick Fairley penalty, and that was just a crucial mistake, one you can't make, losing your cool. And a tough week for him, but a tough week for the Saints on the field in terms of the penalties. There you see it, 9 penalties for 70 yards. That was really their undoing in this game today.
So now the Chiefs will run their 3rd down play. 3rd down and 4. Spencer Ware down to the 22-yard line. We welcome those who have just joined us. Kenny Albert, John Lynch, Pam Oliver in Kansas City. Lions with a 3-point win over the Redskins. Here in KC, defensive touchdown for Daniel Sorensen. A couple of touchdown passes for Alex Smith. 3 for Drew Brees, who is over 300 yards for a record 100th time. Mark Ingram with a touchdown in the 3rd quarter, pulled to within a touchdown, but then he had the ball knocked loose by Ron Parker in the red zone. Chiefs recovered. And then Brees hitting Brandon Coleman. Watch number 90, Nick Fairley. A costly penalty on this late Chiefs possession. And now the Chiefs on 4th down run the clock all the way down to 33 seconds. And will send out the field goal unit. Cairo Santos, if he connects, Kansas City would have a 6-point lead. Drew Brees would get the ball back with under 30 seconds remaining and no timeouts.
Jenny, I got to tell you, you got to be impressed with this Chiefs team and where they're going. Efficient, they've always been under Alex Smith. Now they're explosive down the field. They're a tough team to beat because of the way they play.
41-yard attempt. Colquitt places it down at the right hash, and the kick by Santos is good, just inside the right upright. So the Chiefs now lead by 6 with 28 seconds remaining.
This is supposed to be that draw, and it kind of just hangs out there. And my goodness. But you know, the good thing for Cairo Santos, it counts as it's good. Andy Reid going, Kairos, could you help me out a little? Put it down the middle. But ultimately, all he cares about is it's good. And Andy Reid's team, we talked about the way they finished last year, 10 straight. They've been inconsistent this year, but I've seen it coming, as have they. Felt that it's getting better. Last week, very impressive win over the Oakland Raiders. Right now, hanging on. Now, you do have Drew Brees on that other side, and that is always room for concern. No timeouts, though, and only 28 seconds to get down the field.
40 career game-winning drives, including last week against Carolina. Great job by our entire crew. Producer Fran Morrison, director Artie Kempner, associate director Eric Bandia, broadcast associates Tyler Dare, Peter Greasy, technical producer Clyde Taylor, technical director Tom Maslak. Pre-game produced by Bill Richards, directed by Stephanie Medina, Jeff Cohen in audio, statistician Barry Hockhauser, spotters Ben Boma and Bill Harmon. 28 seconds on the clock as Santos kicks it off into the end zone. So it will be the 25-yard line for Drew Brees and the Saints. They need a touchdown, no timeouts remaining.
And if you're the Chiefs defense, just keep everything in bounds. Protect the sidelines. You can't obviously give it up too much in the middle, but protect the sidelines. Don't let them out of bounds. Completions in front of you will not hurt you.
Remember, they lost one of those timeouts on a challenge, which we thought at the time was the right move. 6.5 remaining, but they did lose a timeout. So, 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Saints must go 75 yards in 28 seconds. Play clock winding down. Goes all the way down to 0. And for the Second time today.
Delay of game.
Delay of game,
Offense.
Saints.
5-yard penalty. Still first
So
down.
the crowd, the noise continues to have an effect on Drew Brees and the Saints offense.
Yeah, game balls for all the fans here today, if I'm Andy Reid, because they have wreaked havoc on even a veteran quarterback like Drew Brees. They've struggled to get plays off with false starts, delays of game all day long.
From the 20, complete. It's Snead trying to get out of bounds. And what a tackle made by Steven Nelson, preventing Snead from getting out. A huge play.
Huge play.
And now Brees will spike it. That's one of those little plays that sometimes goes unnoticed, but Nelson able to take down Snead inbounds.
The amount of time. Snead does the exact right thing, moving to the sideline, but that effort, holding on to that foot, you talk about a game of inches. Steven Nelson selling out, making a huge play. So now if you're the Saints, Kenny, one completion to where you can get it up to where Drew Brees could get it to the end zone on a Hail Mary throw. There it is to Thomas.
There's Thomas looking to get out. And he does not. That will do it. Saints run out of time.
You can see it, Michael Thomas, that right knee, he's in bounds. The official's on it. Sean Payton didn't like it, but great call by the officials.
Chiefs go to 4-2. Saints drop to 2-4. Bonus coverage of the Eagles and the Vikings in Philadelphia with Tom Brenneman, Troy Aikman, and Aaron Andrews.